The Princess and the Pea.
Once upon a time, there was a magnificent kingdom with a wonderful castle. The king of the land had a son who was now of marrying age.
And the family agreed. The young prince should now find a bride to later rule the kingdom with him.
So the prince set out to find a suitable woman. He wanted to find a real princess. She should be delicate and refined, almost too fragile for this world.
He traveled all over the world, from large cities to the smallest villages. He met many beautiful princesses, yet each one lacked something.
He couldn't quite pinpoint what it was, but he could feel that all the women he met didn't have what he was looking for.
There was always something not quite right. After months of travel and futile searching, the prince returned home frustrated. He had traveled to every corner of the kingdom, and yet his search for a true princess had been in vain.
Some evenings after his return, a terrible storm swept over the kingdom. It rained heavily. The streets became wet and muddy, and people retreated to their homes until the storm would pass.
The king watched the wild storm and paced back and forth in his hall. Amidst all the noise and thunder, he couldn't find any sleep.
Then there was a very soft knock at the royal palace.
The king looked around for his servants, but there was no one else there who could hear the faint knocking.
And once more, there was a nearly imperceptible tap on the door.
Curious, the king approached the door and opened it cautiously. There stood a young woman in elegant clothing with beautiful golden hair.
Yet she was completely drenched. The pouring rain must have caught the young woman completely off guard. Water ran from her hair and clothes, and even her finely embroidered shoes were soaking wet.
She introduced herself as a princess who sought refuge from the rain. The king observed her critically and was quite surprised by the unexpected visitor. His queen, the mother, came to him and saw the poor girl.
"Let the poor child in." And at that very moment, she called for her servants. The queen thought to herself, "We will find out if she's a real princess." They prepared the guest chamber for the princess, and the queen ordered 20 mattresses to be stacked up, with 20 feather beds on top. So the servants and maids rushed off and prepared the sleeping place as instructed.
Then the mother queen went to the kitchen and took a single pea. Before they led the princess to her chamber, she placed the single pea under the enormous stack of mattresses and feather beds.
They wished the princess a pleasant night's rest, and everyone went to bed.
The next morning, the sun rose over the castle again. The storm had passed, and a sunny, cheerful day began.
When they led the princess to the royal family's breakfast table, the mother queen asked curiously how she had slept. And that's when the princess began to lament terribly.
"Oh, terribly bad. I hardly closed my eyes all night. God knows what was in my bed. I was lying on something hard, and now my whole body is bruised and sore. It's dreadful."
The young prince beamed with enthusiasm and joy. He had now found what he was looking for.
The heavy complaints revealed that she was a true princess, because through the 20 mattresses and 20 feather beds, she had felt the pea.
Only a genuine princess could be so sensitive. The prince married the young woman in a splendid and beautiful ceremony.
And to prove to everyone that this was a true story, the pea was put on display in a glass case, where it may still be seen today, if no one has stolen it.
Follow our YouTube channel and don't miss any of our upcoming episodes.
And if you know more about why the princess slept so badly, write it in the comments.